as we have a fresh new group, which means we're back to best of threes, of course, for the first couple of matches. As in the bottom left-hand side, our teal Terran player will be Byun, taking on the red Protoss in the top right-hand corner, herO. Fighting for the chance to go to the winners match, of course, at the moment. The other players in the group being Max, Pax, and a Laser. This is the Stay At HomeStory Cup. If you do enjoy these games, I might put this on YouTube, because I've been... we definitely didn't get any games put on YouTube yesterday. And I would I kind of need some YouTube stuff. I'm actually running out of YouTube uploads at the moment. I'm going to have to start casting some stuff outside of streams. So maybe if this is a good series, it'll go on YouTube. I know Byun always brings the views. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you like it after I'm done rambling here, do consider hitting that like button, consider subscribing, and help us out with the YouTube stuff. You guys know how it goes. YouTube's not doing so hot right now, but with you guys helping, it can do a bit better. So, just going to be kicking off is just going to be seeing our gateway getting going. And just going to be having the barracks of Byun going to be finishing up in the main base in a few moments now. It's just getting that completed. As we do have our Zealot already from herO. So, yeah. Getting this up and running, getting this underway. Obviously, the Zealot's going to be pretty aggressive. That's something which you really want to try and do some damage with here then as herO. You want to get across the map and put some pressure on, so expecting a little bit of that. I was just going to be seeing our Nexus building behind this all. Yeah, I mean, obviously from here as the Cybercore finishes, we're probably expecting a Stalker to come across and to join in with this Zealot as well. That would make the most sense here initially, as we do have the Zealot making its way across. Oh, and Adept works too, right? Similar idea. Has its own strengths overall. So Zealot heads down to the bottom side. Factory is coming through, just going to be seeing the CC build and high ground from Byun. I mean, that's amazing because it means that he's not going to have to deal with this nonsense of the Zealot and the Adept on the low ground. Worst case scenario, has to pull an SCV or two to repair, and you have to dodge an Adept shot. You know, you're going to have to micro a little bit, but this is just, I mean, this already kind of takes away a lot of what herO wanted to do here. So this is already a very good start for you here as Byun. He'll be very happy with this. And of course, herO as well doesn't know what's coming his way. He has no idea if this command center's building. He has no idea if this is going to be a... you know, a one base attack. He sees the factory in the starport, and he does see the factory, obviously building a mine, and now seeing the starport tells you also that you kind of roughly know what sort of build this is going to be, because you know the timing of the starport, and you can say, well, that's not a starport, that would come down if it was one base. So that's actually very good info for herO, getting that scout up here. Yeah, on this map, basically, if you want this to be hidden, you're going to have to build it a bit more up here or so, which maybe isn't exactly where you want them initially, etc., but... yeah, obviously new maps, new things to learn. So we're just going to borrow the medevac is on the way in, and we do have our Adepts is going to try and shade up the ramp again as our Blink Chrono boosts through on the Twilight Councils. Just getting that Blink up, Robo Facility coming in. A couple of Adepts and Zealot get turned away as the Orbital Command is going to go landing down to the Natural and the Starport. We'll get a Tech Lab. Raven, of course, I think is on the agenda here from Byun. I think that makes a lot of sense, as these few SCVs just going to go down to the Natural and obviously just going to take themselves and get mining. So I'd say, like, you know, as I've been saying already, I like the start from Byun. It's the sort of start that keeps you safe, it puts you into a good spot, but it's not like it's been such a, you know, a start where it's like, okay, now you're going to win the game. It's not like, you know, herO has to make up for this or something, as the medevac tries to come in with these couple of mines. Gets deflected pretty quickly, in all honesty. And we are just going to be seeing that Nexus coming down on the 12 o'clock. Getting that ready to go. Raven is on the way from Byun. Just going to be getting that out and just going to be joining up with the rest of these Marines. Just going to be bringing this all together. Now, as you get that Raven with the rest of the Marines, maybe there is some potential for a push. Looks like the Raven's actually just going to go on its own agenda and go around the side of the map and look to drop some order turrets off over to the other side. So, just planning on that right now. That's Raven coming around. Away we go as that Raven comes up that right-hand side. And yeah, otherwise just Stimpack coming through. We're going to see a third barracks building up right now as well. Mortal producing out of the Robo facility. And our observers just heading down to the bottom left-hand side as well. Mine drop's going to be annoying over this side as we just stop the third base for mine for a few moments. Unburrowed, reburrowed. It's just going to kill one probe for the moment. There's the auto turret in the main base, which will force the probes to also stop mining just for a little bit. So probe's already pulling away from that, just escaping away. One more auto turret going down here as the Raven does survive. Obviously, the auto turret there gets dealt with quickly. The Widow Mine's going to go off, and that's a Stalker and probe, so that's going to be nice. And he saves the Widow Mine. Really cute play so far from Byun as he's putting himself into some good positions here initially. Charge now on the way on the Twilight Council, just seeing Stimpack, Combat Shield, and the +1 upgrade all coming through. And we have got a pylon just building to the side of that mineral line as well as we continue to macro up. But I love this from herO so far as he gets out of the from Byun so far as herO tries to get out of his supply block. Byun is just being able to put on a good amount of pressure. He's been keeping his opponent busy. And he's actually really just found some good damage along the way as well. herO made it here because he beat Showtime twice over in the previous group stage, which I actually thought was a little bit surprising. But then again, herO has had some good results lately. Qualified to Aces ROG. I think that was actually a pretty notable thing to do. So yeah, it's herO's had some successes lately. I guess we shouldn't be so surprised that he can take down Showtime PvP. I was surprised that he did it twice, actually. The first time I was like, okay, cool. Doing it twice I thought was what was really impressive as the double immortal drop removes a reactor from the game right away. Now a reactor on the factory taken down as well. Widow Mine misses the immortals, which get lifted back up. And a few marines will be moving through into the center here, just going to work our way through this set of rocks. That's going to knock that down and perhaps continue our way to the top side of the map as well with these Widow Mines. Away we go. Mortal is Corona boosting away as we do see the Bioforce pressing forward. The couple of Mortals still in that prism. We have a severe lack of splash damage right now. It's got to be one of the more concerning parts of this as the Stalkers blink back to deal with the auto turret, but then they just ran back here straight away pretty much. Well, let's see if this Zealotcon can do something. That's going to be a Widow Mine. Actually, completely missed the lift up. Usually you try and lift up these units that get stuck by the force fields, and he went for it, but then he didn't actually lift any of them, so that wasn't super pretty. And as we do have just one Widow Mine left, it's going to connect nicely for a couple more Stalkers. Oh, and a little bit more at the end. I mean, the real storyline is Widow Mine's over here killing 15 probes. This Raven's got 9 kills on it as well. I mean, if it wasn't for the probe kills, herO would have had a really good cleanup and would be on the map maybe getting something done. But now instead, he's on the map, and I just don't know if he's going to be able to keep on building enough versus what Byun is building. And it doesn't matter if you clean up really well if you take that kind of economic damage behind it, or as the Stalkers blink in, that's a dead medevac. And Bioforce is coming through, and the Immortals just having to lift up once again. Oh, Bunker at the front helping to hold. I mean, I love these Widow Mines. Just a shot here, shot there. Blowing up sentries, of course, with energy on them is always nice. As herO able to apply a lot of pressure, but I think as long as Byun is just able to stay patient, I think this should still be alright for him. He's going to start pulling SCVs to make sure he can push this away. There's no force fields left, so there's nothing stopping this army moving through, although the SCVs get stuck on the BIOS. I guess pulling them maybe wasn't that effective. I mean, there we are, going to get on top of the Immortals, and that's going to be a lot of kills very quickly. SCV should probably pull back now. You've got enough without needing the SCVs to go down. Losing the workers just means you're going to be in a bit of a worse position eco-wise coming out of this. The Liberators here really sieged up quite far back. You know, where they seem, at the time when they sieged, it actually made sense, but I would have loved to see them reposition a little bit during this game, or during that fight, because they did not actually fire a single shot during all of this. All the pressure on this other side of the map from Byun is now dealt with, by the way, as... Oh, I say that, sorry. I did not see that Widow Mine on the mini-map. Apologies. So that Widow Mine was still there. That will go down. So 3 final probe kills will be now pretty much it for Byun, right? I don't think we do anything else from here. I think that is kind of, you know, it done and dusted. We're actually going to be finishing up on that barracks. It's just going to be seeing this medevac popping out. And the prism around the left-hand side with a couple of immortals in. So bringing this prism out around the left. A couple Widow Mines going up the top. I mean, it's kind of funky because a double immortal drop can be pretty powerful, but I feel like it's not the right sort of harass that you need at the moment. I mean, I guess like getting rid of some reactors and stuff is annoying, but you're gonna get the reactor on the starport again right away. Deja vu as the reactor on the factory also goes down. Well, this is a little bit of a repeat of what we saw earlier, as we see the missile turret getting a shot off as well. Obviously, Byun does get a third base into position. That's one thing he's been missing, but I do feel like he's done a good enough job attacking the eco of herO to really slow him down and to make it so it's okay for him to be on a later third base anyway. Byun is also on the way to two upgrades. Set of upgrades that could be rather substantial in the long run. herO is really struggling with these Widow Mines. 6 more probes killed as we continue to move on through. Yeah, it's 1-1 against 0-0 right now, so imagine once this gets to 2-2. This Gateway army is already not great against the Bio army. It's going to get even worse as the Bio force, wanting to stim down the ramp, does end up pulling back. Another Widow Mine shot. Prism gets hit. Let's get sieged up. SCV Bio force, I think, maybe wanting to try and make a play into this. So it's blinking down the south. The rest of the Zealots just going to warp in here. 15 SCVs going down. I mean, again, Byun, he wouldn't mind just sitting back for half a minute if he could, because that's obviously going to give him the chance to get the 2-2 upgrades. Right now, it's still an upgrade lead, but more of an upgrade lead will never go amiss. Man, it took ages to get rid of these Liberators. The Immortal's very tanky, and that's going to keep the Stalkers alive for a while. 16 SCVs have fallen. Byun bringing reinforcements from the other side. Another Immortal dead. Now it's just Zealot Stalker. Even bringing more SCVs into the fight, just to make sure he's going to be okay. He was still killing probes across the map, so he's happy to give up some more of his SCVs. I mean, 25 dead. It's 30 to 31 workers in the game. But Byun now has 2-2 and 47 army supply versus the 13 to 15 army supply of herO. It's not really a competition anymore. This Observer just gets whacked down by a missile turret as well. And a scrappy game, really, right? I mean, both of them below 100 supply here, 13 minutes in. But herO obviously on 50 supply and just hurting so very much. And what he's rebuilding is now really never going to be competitive. With 0-0 against 2-2, there is no way. I think like one set of upgrades behind, it's like, okay, you can do a little bit here, you can do a little bit there. 2 upgrades behind on attack on armor, no way, surely not. Like, it just shouldn't be possible. Not with, like, you know, if you had splash damage, it's a little bit more acceptable. But with gateway units, absolutely not going to happen. And apparently that is also agreed upon by by herO. He taps out to give Byun the 1-0 lead. Top left side of the map, our Teal Terran player taking the 1-0 lead is Byun. Bottom right, our Red Protoss from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. This is herO. How do you have 0-0 at almost 14 minutes in that first game? Well, I mean, a lot of stuff happened in that first game, right? It was aggressive, herO was being aggressive, he was being attacked. You know, it's absolutely natural to have some styles and some builds that just don't get upgrades, and then the game doesn't end when you want it to, and the game goes on. I mean, he obviously wasn't in a good position, and the upgrades were a part of that, but it was also part, you know, initially, in part, it was because of what happened earlier as well. As you do see our bunker, our engineering bay block on the natural expansion to get this started. Just going to see the probes picking away at the engineering bay. So just going to pull that quickly, but I mean, honestly, a lot of HP on the engineering bay. I feel like pulling the probes is okay when you have like an engineering bay that's still in the red, right? Over halfway built, I feel like that's a long time to commit to pulling these probes for. You know, they're going to be pulled off this pulled off the mineral line for a long time. I mean, it looks like we're going to completely skip the zealots, so okay, that's cute, but yeah, it takes a while to break through that for sure. Next on the natural factory build and reactor on the barracks as our orbital finishes up. Cybernetics core going to be done as the adept will chrono boost out. SCV is just wandering across to the upper left hand side for the early stages. Yeah, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Clean bot murderer that you are. He's been caught on multiple occasions, guys. It's a problem. We're gonna have to discuss that at a later point, I'm sure. Those clean bots are rather cute. They can't get in the way of things, right? So they can be a little bit annoying. As the adept comes up the ramp, just gonna see a little bit of pressure being applied. Twilight Council is already building into the main base, so just getting that up and running. Stalker on the way, Warp Gate coming through, about halfway done. And that Cyclone is going to be coming out of the factory in just a few moments' time as well. Yeah, I mean, second racks before starport this time, so a little bit different from Byun altogether. As we do just have ourselves a Twilight opening and Blink on the way from here, so away we go with that to begin. That's just going to lift off and it's going to make its way down to the natural expansion. It's just going to get landed over here. Again, just second barracks coming through means we're going to have a lot of bio units at play. Headed on 2 more gateways, then the robo, so maybe some pressure off this Blink as well from herO. Definitely something of a possibility, right? Definitely something we could be looking at. There's a 4th gate as well. Yep, he's absolutely going to try and apply some pressure. Okay, well, I mean, the Blink in position is pretty close to the natural ramp, so it doesn't feel like that bad of a map to defend on when it comes to defending Blink Stalkers. The double Cyclone doesn't feel as good against Blink Stalkers, of course. If this was Stargate, amazing. Against Stalkers, I'm not as hyped. And especially in a world where you're not going to be building a siege tank either. Now I really actually all of a sudden start getting just very worried from Byun right from the get-go. Because I look at this and, well, he's just going to have 2 Cyclones and a few Marines. Stalkers can absolutely kite that, jump on that. See what the positioning is like. We'll see what the setup is for defending. But I have a feeling that there may be a bit of a successful attack here from here. I feel like the potential is absolutely there at least. We'll see if he can unlock it and make the most of it. Impact's halfway done. The combat shields has started. Prism pops out. Heading across the upper left-hand side, all these Stalkers making their way over as the Stimming Combat Shields and the +1 attack upgrade all come through. Stalkers looking to line up. Just gonna blink up into this main base, and in we go. Stim's done, though. I mean, what a time for Stim to finish us. Now these Stalkers gonna get fought right away. So, I mean, the good news here is you've got Stim. And the bad news is, well, actually, that's really nice. Catching that Prism is obviously gonna be massive. Big cleanup as Byun chases herO out of there. Ooh! Wow, Prism dies, a lot of Stalkers die. That was nice, right, for Byun. He does lose 11 Marines. He lost 1 Cyclone. Again, the double Cyclone's kind of funny. It really doesn't do much this game, and I'd be surprised if it ended up doing much more in the future as well. First medevac's on the way out. We need these units to get healed up. That's going to be their biggest issue right now, as you don't really want to stim again due to that. Go back and forth. We're going to stim for the Observer, which gets out of range. Going to force another scan. Well, at least you got 2 scans for the Observer instead of just the 1. Stalkers move up into the natural and just going to be seeing the Bioforce stemming forward once again. Stalkers blink out to the right-hand side. Stalkers blink in, a couple of medevacs get shot down immediately, and that Bioforce going to chase those Stalkers away pretty much right away. Again, I mean, you lose your medevacs though. I mean, herO's losing a lot of supply in this. Down to 20 army supply. Bouncing back a little bit. Nexus is on the way over on that right-hand side. You have the Prism wanting to make its way around in toward the main as we have our Stalkers setting up to go into the main base as well. Perhaps we're going to have our Prism here unloading a few of these Stalkers. A few SCVs will start to go down. So was one of the more annoying parts of this is herO has a 3rd base up back at home. You know, I feel like a lot of this hasn't been great for herO. Work counts are almost similar, you know. It doesn't feel brilliant at all for herO, actually. But what I do like are the Colossi. And I feel there's a very realistic possibility that Byun takes this whole army, runs it across the map into 2 Colossi or something, and just melts, you know? I feel like I've seen that story unfold for Byun in the past, as... yeah, so far, herO's definitely not had the best of times trying to harass. I feel like a lot of these attacks didn't do well. But let's see if you can find something towards the end here. As our Bioforce moves down the ramp, Stalkers get chased away. Let's see our Bioforce pressing forward a little bit. The gateway going to be taking a little bit of damage here, going to get cleaned out. Here is the couple of Colossi. Force fields could be good. This one actually is. We do go forward there and save a couple of Marauders. Now we're going to stim. We're going to commit here. The first sentry's going down. I really feel like you want to get the Colossus, but doesn't quite find it as Byun backs it up. Has that +1 attack upgrade lead. Up this ramp, Byun's going to go for a massive load up, boost toward the main base. Stalkers see it! Oh no! Byun's going to lose a full medevac already. Now trying to make his way into the main again. He's going to force a recall. He'll just unload, but herO's getting some damage done. Like I say, you know, I thought Byun was going to run to Colossi and die, and he didn't quite, but he actually tried to load up and obviously loses units there. Now he's out of position as herO's moved across the map. Short map, counterattacks happen quickly. Going to be seeing the watchtower bottom left being cleaned down. Actually, herO says, you know what, I'm happy to hunt down these units. He's got Stalkers coming in. He doesn't know the lift up happened, though, so he wasn't blinking after it. And like I say, though, now he could maybe still go towards Byun's bases and put on some pressure. As Byun's got a 3rd CC, getting ready to move into position once it's become an orbital. Right now, we are just going to go up this ramp as Zealot gets hit by a Widow Mine. Another Zealot hit as well. Okay, well, 2 Widow Mines shut down already. We're going to get rid of this one that's burrowing up as also. Problem here is that Byun's units are going to be very choked up. We just blink onto this. I mean, exposing the Stalkers a bit, but the Colossi in the back will just sit here and do a lot of damage. Stalkers would be great if you target fire down some Vikings. No target fire from the Stalkers at all, so the Vikings are going to get rid of 2 Colossi. Doesn't matter, Byun's lost too much in the process, and herO will tie the series 1-1. So if that makes the games unwatchable, then I don't know what to tell you. Bottom left corner. Our Teal Terran player is going to be Byun. Had a good start, really. Defended a lot of the initial setups in that last game. Because in the top right, we do have our red Protoss player herO. Game 3 of our best of 3 in this series. 2000 Atmospheres, not one of the new maps, of course, one of the maps that remains. We're finishing up at the front, a Nexus onto the natural. Water Command coming up, and the barracks just building up a Marine. Cyber Core coming down. I'm just going to be seeing our probe moving off to the side. This time, Byun obviously is still expanding, but obviously just trying to hide it a little bit, just trying to keep herO a little bit in the dark, make him guess a bit once again as to what's going on. As the probe scouts up the ramp, does see the command center in the end, and the Marine is going to deal some damage to that probe. A robo opener from herO, a little bit different, not quite the norm, that's for sure. Definitely a little bit of a different approach here from herO in this game. Robo usually, I mean, you're gonna build a prism and get aggressive to some extent, right? You're gonna take some amount of units out and across to the other side of the map, as the first adept is gonna be shading across. Starport going to be finishing off soon as our Marines come in. Adept is going to take just a little bit more damage. And still kind of wants to go up the ramp here. Might commit. Widowmine could go off. Nope. Not just yet, as the orbital command lifts and goes down to the natural. RoboBay is building from herO, so getting that RoboBay up and running. Warp Prism coming through, and just going to be seeing a couple of probes still on the way out, as we do have ourselves a couple of extra gateways dropping in from herO in the back of the main. I didn't actually really think about the idea of a disruptor, like a disruptor or a Colossus drop, but it's funny because we actually have seen a lot of disruptor / Colossus drops lately. It's actually happened way more frequently than you might have usually guessed. Just going to be a disruptor this time, getting that Gravitic Drive. 2 Widowmines coming across the map in this medevac, so looking to get set up here Byun to choose some initial damage, heading into this main base. Going to boost past the Stalker, of course. herO has had plenty of time to see this. He's going to pull the probes to fight this. That's not going to be enough. Oh no, oh my god, my StarCraft froze. It was such a, oh my god, it was such a big sorry. This was such a big mine hit, my StarCraft literally froze when it happened. Oh my goodness. Sorry, should we just do that again? Let's just weir around. And just take a little bit back. Pretend that this previous part never happened. And hopefully it won't freeze this time. Okay, here we go. What am I going to push past that Stalker? And the probes are going to pull, but that's not going to be enough. And oh my god, boom! All the probes going down in the main, in the natural expansion. It's a late pull as well. Boom! We're going to see 29 probes going down, and Byun is going to murder herO in this game number 3. An explosive finish. GG's. Yeah, guys, I have no idea what happened. My StarCraft just froze up at a horrible time, huh? That was not a pretty time for stuff to be freezing. GG's. Byun takes it 2-1.